So welcome
Hey,
to
go ahead.
another exploration into consciousness with the Yotnavo Hub. And today we're going to chat about Schrodinger's cat. And Amy came up with the idea, which is a brilliant idea. And I'm going to hand over the talking stick just to kick it off, and then
Yeah.
we'll take it from there.
Oh my gosh, brilliant idea. I'm not sure because you know why? It was a little hard concept for me to understand. So I'm just going to say that I thought it sounded kind of cute, Schrodinger's cat, because we all love cats. And so I thought this would be perfect. So guys, I was like going through videos, like short little 5-minute videos, and what it came down to is that it was actually a thought experiment. And this guy Schrodinger, which I think was from Austria, Vienna.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So he just decided to, I don't know, put a cat in a box with some radioactive something, and to see if the cat, what it would be, 50, what is it, dead or alive? And we wouldn't know until we looked in the box. So that's kind of what that is. And then it goes into quantum physics also. Let's see, I wrote some little notes. So yeah, and then I kind of went, okay, well, what's the classical mechanics and the quantum mechanics? And so the classical mechanics to me in these videos were like throwing a ball up in the air. That's just the mechanics, the physics of throwing a ball up into the air and watching it come down. And then the fundamental of quantum mechanics would be just the fundamentals of matter and energy, like the protons and the photons, and that allow the particles to stay in two separate states. So I guess kind of that would be the quantum. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but so I guess I'm thinking, so I thought, well, this is kind of cool because it made me think of he put the little radioactive stuff in the box, put a cat in it, because I heard that he doesn't like cats, so that's why he used cats. so yeah. So and we wouldn't know the result until we looked in the box. Was it dead? Was it alive? And it's 50-50. And so they did the experiment. So like, let's say you did 10 experiments. Well, 50% would be dead and 50% would be alive. So, and I think, oh, this was kind of cool. So the quantum physics part was that the cat, when it was in the box, was in this superposition state where it was neither dead nor alive. Which it felt like to me, like it was in this levitating state. Am I dead? Am I alive? And there's mixture of possibilities it could have been. And then possibilities, right? We always talk about possibilities. Well, was the cat dead or alive? Did it go into a vegetative state? I don't know, so many possibilities. Did it go out of his body and go somewhere else? I don't know. I'm just thinking of things.
So the first question that, when I looked at that, when you suggested that as a topic, I thought it was really, really cool for us to explore from, as you said, infinite possibilities, parallel universes, the power of the observer, because that's what it's really all about, right? The cat is almost the victim there. It's in the box. The poison is in there. We don't know when this radioactive poison will decay and trigger that Geiger counter for the poison to be released, because that was sort of the idea, right? And we will only know when we look at that. Now, when was that done?
I think it was around oh my gosh, I can't think of the quantum guy.
Well, anyway,
Einstein. It was around Einstein's time.
Yeah. He was doing this with Einstein, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
Can I say something though first before you go on?
Yes.
Is that it wasn't a real experiment.
No.
It was just a theoretical
thought. Right.
Thought. thought for illustration, for a teaching tool that he brought that up. So let's get that cleared up. So no cat
Yeah,
died
I did say it was a thought. I did say a thought experiment.
No cats got harmed.
Yeah, no cats got harmed.
Experiment. So we're just gonna make that as a little,
from the beginning.
It was 1935.
1935. Okay.
Can I say a couple words?
By all means, yes.
In my memory, it was experiment about power of observation. When they got in quantum physics, when one electron shooting and it's going into slits, this is where they start to question, in my memory, power of observation. If you think it will shoot in one slit, it would shoot in one. If you think it's two, it would shoot it two. So they were trying to kind like contemplate, is it dead or alive in a box, and how it will affect a result. In my memory, this is what they wanted to achieve.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. Power of observation.
Yeah, and only that nature. So it was about kind of like our observation of the cat. We didn't know what it's going to happen until you look in the box.
Yeah.
If the cat, yeah. And then the question too was, so who's observing us? Observing us looking at the box. I don't know. I read that somewhere. Yeah, that was kind of interesting.
That's a good
collapse.
one.
Yeah, collapse of a reality. So if this is our reality, then what's collapsing? Who's watching us? Yeah.
Well, so can I share something that came to me when I was thinking about the Schrodinger's cat theory?
Sure.
So the first thing that popped up to me, which never popped up before because I've heard the story and stuff before, but I think it's because it came up for our discussion today. The thoughts were just flowing. Now take into consideration that you don't know whether the cat is alive or dead until you open the box. That's first thing, right? But why did he choose a cat? And I've heard you said that because he didn't like cats, but take it from a different perspective now. What other animal besides a cat we usually refer to as having 9 lives, right? So from our perspective in the 3D reality, whether the cat is dead or alive will take away just 1 life of the cat, which would remain 8 lives with left of this cat. So this cat will always be alive because the cat is in all the different 9 realms. To me, this was what was flowing in my thoughts. And so let's take it from that perspective now. Why did he choose a cat? Is it because it's a trick question? Is it magical to think of the cat?
Magical.
The cat has 9 lives, right?
Yes, Lana, it's a magical direction of thinking. I believe to expand a little bit on what you said, like add to that something that is not physical. This is how they were trying to connect physical, classical mechanic and quantum, what they discovered with this power of observation when they start to explore not so physical reactions. And yes, Lana, this is how you can look into this subject. If we look from physical point of view, it doesn't make sense. But when we try to connect physical and non-physical, this is where we kind like starting questioning what is real, what is not. And yes, Amy, who is observing us and how it's affecting us? Yeah, it is magical part present in this question. It is not physical.
Also, Lana, I heard one of them said, well, okay, so our act of looking forces nature's decision. And then it said something about, so our curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That was kind of like, oh, is that where they get that from? Curiosity killed the cat?
Well,
So in my mind, when I was thinking, when the thought came to me of the 9 lives, and I'm thinking of the 9 realms, and I'm thinking of the Norse mythology, talking about their 9 realms. So what if the cat is living in all 9 realms,
And
right? And
right.
it's just slipping back and forth from each realm, or it doesn't have to because it's already existing in all 9 realms because the cat has 9 lives. It's that magic again in there being thrown in.
And we do exist in all those realms too. Yeah.
Because we are
Yeah.
multidimensional, yeah.
Yeah.
We exist everywhere because we are the one being.
Right.
So now let's maybe look into direction how it affect our physical results and our physical life when we know that we are existing everywhere and we can observe our physical reality from any place, and it's what we do all the time. And if we look inside, this is that everywhere we existing, that not physical connection to physical world, our spirit, soul, all that thing. So how that state of that not physical part of us as observation of our physical existence affecting our physical results? So how presence of us everywhere affecting our physical experience, for our physical world?
I guess
And
the answer is, I guess the answer is just seeing us as we are right now. We're seeing the effects of our 3D experience.
In this case, in this case, it looks more like victimhood. So we kind like not capable to change our physical reality because it's not us observing us.
That too.
What if
you can add
we
in there.
can change our physical reality? But now let's look into mechanism, how it can work. If we can change our physical reality, what do you think about this?
Well, what brought to mind as soon as you said that, I don't know why I was thinking of people in a coma. Are they dead? Or are they alive? We don't, or while you're in a coma. I mean, I don't know. Are you thinking, am I dead or am I alive? I know they've done studies that say that people can hear you when you talk to people in a coma, but I don't know why that just kind of like, okay, what are they contemplating while being in a coma? Are they going to the other realms that they're in?
Could be. It's the magic.
Yeah, it's the magic.
What if we really see difference between our physical existence, what we experiencing now as human beings having body, and our presence as not having body presence?
So
can it be mixed or not?
I like, Irina, what you just said, because, I got really excited about the topic because I see, humanity on the brink of bridging the two worlds, the physical and the etheric world. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and this is part of, obviously we're taking this Schrodinger's cat and applying it in the context of where we are at the moment and what we're working with. And what does that mean? We're talking about the entangled and the unentangled observer, which we have been speaking about before. And now, it's like bringing this into the forefront of our thinking, because we need to start, not everyone, but whoever chooses to go down this enlightenment awakening process needs to start thinking from a soul perspective, not just from a shard perspective, not just from a physical appearance perspective, but from that etheric like you get a guy saying, from this unseen level that is all part of us. Let's check
And
out.
now let's bring that old topic, ancient, I would say. Who is first, egg? No, it won't even work. I would say like this: what is affecting what? Subtle existence, that not physical existence, affecting our physical? Who was primal? Or our physical existence affecting our spiritual, not physical existence? How it works? And what is natural way, natural order of unfolding this connection, and how we can bring in our today life more of that not physical experiences, because this is where we are going actually, like Martina said. We explored everything in our physical reality that we wanted to explore, to my understanding, and now we are trying to add some not being present element in our physical existence. That is nothing from physical anymore, because we explored everything in physical reality. So we are adding something not physical to our physical existence, and see how it will go, how it will change our experience as human beings, still having human body, but now having something not physical as element of our experience. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, that takes us back to the experiment, you know, is the cat alive or is the cat dead? Because as we said earlier on, it doesn't really make a difference anymore, because the existence continues. And, you know, there's a choice in all of that. And the choice is not just for the cat to get the hell out of the box without waiting for that poison to decay, but also for every single one of us to get out of our boxes and make that choice, so that we can start observing ourselves from a physical perspective as the entangled observer, and at the same time as the unentangled observer from the etheric, from all the other unseen aspects that we are.
Yes, Martina. And you see, this is the interesting part, because we are adding now, it is a possibility. Not everyone will choose, and not everyone choosing on earth. We can see it around. But it is a possibility to add not physical element to our physical experience, and how it will change our physical experience. This is the question now. And we still want to have experience as human beings that is physical, correct? But when we add that not physical element, how it will affect our physical experience, our physical existence, and how we can work with that. Will we still be physical completely? Or is it even possible to mix those two? Will it bring us into another type of existence immediately if we understand that not physical part available for us to explore? I don't know.
For me,
yeah.
for me, the non-physical part that you're talking about, for me, and this might not go for everybody else, but from the point of view that I'm thinking from now, is that the non-physical part, which is the cause, right, and the effect is our physical part. This non-physical part is always with me. It's my conscious awareness, and so it's no separation really from my physical. They're both together. So the non-physical is the consciousness, which is determining what my physical experience is, will be, and ever will be, while I'm in the finite form of the physical. Right?
Yeah,
That's what comes to me.
Yeah, I think that's nicely put, Lana, because there is no physical without the non-physical. And I think, what Irina is saying, that's a given. And what if we can now start acknowledging that? Because once we start acknowledging that, we don't even have to remember it. We just have to probably understand the concept, acknowledge it, and then see how we can use our unseen capacities in a much more effective and more expansive way to create.
Yep.
So
And how it will affect our physical existence, what we can turn our physical existence into.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing you saying, Martina, is that our non-physical is what determines our reality now. And if we become more conscious of this fact on a more moment-to-moment basis, it will be more beneficial and more effective for us to live in that reality. Because we've not been living in that reality for so long, and now we're grasping that understanding again and bringing ourselves back to that space again, which we ought to be working out of now or from. So that's what I'm getting.
Yeah, so our appearance, our experience is based on the accumulation of our experiences, of our soul's experiences throughout all those lifetimes. It's all part of the karmic entanglement, So the physical part of us now is to make choices in order to resolve the karmic entanglements and get onto the dharmic path. And
what if we remember that not physical part was all the time structuring our experience? Yes, we have free will here, but that free will still defined of our essence. We can't do anything that our soul doesn't have vibration. If in our that not physical part, for example, we don't have war frequency, yeah, we are choosing a different essence of our direction for experience than war. Then even when we try to do that war, have that war experience, we very quickly tired from that, and it's not natural to us. We try to push it away from our experience, go into different experience that is nature of our essence.
I agree with you.
What if that essence, what our primal choice was when we stepped into this universe for experience, all the time defined our experience, all the time. And now it's just possibility to remember that consciously. And like Martina said, we don't need to be all the time doing into that direction. It's a being into that direction. But then doing will come from how we can turn that, connecting to our possibility as having human body, as having all those experiences from our past, yeah, how we can play with that. That would be our doing. But direction of that doing will be defined by our essence. That's not visible part.
Yeah. So let's take this back to the experiment, because, when we're sitting there waiting for this box to open, for us to look, this is the entangled observer sitting there waiting for the box to open, right? Or even taking an action to open it. What if we can just be perfectly coherently aligned with our purpose, not knowing if that cat is dead or alive, because we know that we are the creator of our reality. And the possibilities are in parallel universes anyway. Yeah. So what if we can now realize from that experiment, either way, looking or not, we have a choice. What are you going to choose? The dead cat in the one universe or the alive cat in the other universe, depending on your point of observation. So we don't have to wait for that bloody box to open. It's like the same thing. We don't have to wait for this entirety of consciousness to cleanse itself and purify. We can make a choice now to say, okay, I am choosing to be with my tribe, to be with people, to be with, to do a certain job, to be in a certain, environment that is conducive to my purpose, to my mission, to what makes me joyful and happy.
Okay, I have a question to that. Okay, so if we do, how can I word this? Hold on. If you say there's choice, if the choice is, or there's no choice, I can't remember, but something about collapsing that other reality or the other reality if you're making a choice. Do you see that? So
yeah,
you're collapsing.
You don't have to open the box in order to do that. You just choose.
You just choose which one.
Which one?
And neither one is right or wrong.
Exactly.
But your essence inside will direct you into something more natural for you. If, for example, because we had all those experiences, 360, we know everything, we had everything, we tried everything, we were everything, correct? Yeah. So we can make that cat alive or we can make that cat dead because we had experience of doing both and everything in between. But now that essence of us that is inside of us will all the time, it's that essence, that not physical part that we are now consciously adding into our experience will direct us more into some direction, or leave that cat and know that cat dead or that cat is alive. This would be our choice. Yes, personality is choosing, yes, but that essence inside of us will direct us into some possibility more than to another possibility. In my experience and in my perception, this is how I feel it, and this is how I experience it.
So to me, technically, the cat never died in any of the 9 lives that it had, because, as we know, life is eternal. So the cat, only the skin suit of the cat appears to us in this reality in a coma, like Amy was talking about coma before. So to me, that cat physical body itself may appear to us in this 3D reality as though it went into a coma phase, but the cat never really died in any of the realities or the 9 lives that it had, right? So,
or even you can say we never had this physical experience, even we had this physical experience, the same.
Yes, it's both.
Okay, so I want to add something to that.
It's the magic, coming back to the magic.
Let me just add one thing to that, so let's just take it very literally. The poison's in, the cat's dead, body's dead, stiff, that kind of thing. Yeah. We looked into the bag, into the box, and that's what happened. Now, question number 1 is, what's that fascination having to look into the box to see if the cat is dead or alive? Number 1, right? Because if we don't choose to look into the box, if the cat is dead or alive, the cat remains alive.
Doing what cat is doing instead of without us thinking about cat, yes. But now you said it, fascination. If we can see it as our forgetfulness and limitation, that we have that need to look into box without looking into that knowing inside and just know what it's not our journey, it's cat journey. What do we do with that cat? Let's do our journey, what we want to explore. You see, this is how we can look into our presence in so many places that societal structure already created for us. We're not doing our thing often, very often.
So how
Because
much of looking into the box is the distraction
Yep.
that we keep choosing in this reality?
Exactly.
At the box and everything else, just to
And
see
who is really created that box? Did you create that box for yourself? Or it's just someone's box who is observing that box around you, and you like that puppet inside of that box doing whatever box from you demanding.
So the saying, curiosity kills the cat. So curiosity created the box, and then curiosity went to look and kill the cat.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let's say like this, we allowed that box to be created around us with our energy. We put our energy into creating that box. So if we allowed and we put our energy into creating that box, at any time of remembering of that, we can start to disassemble that box. We can start to work with that box, or we can start to make that box how we want to have that box in our reality today. Because still we have a lot of observers who are watching our boxes, even those boxes, our energy.
So consider yourself the cat in the box for one moment.
Yeah. I was just going to say that. Yeah.
Me too. I was just thinking that. I was thinking, are we all Schrodinger's cat inside the box?
We're all the cats in that box. And let's stay with that metaphor. And then we're just going to look at whose poison is it anyway? Whose poison is it? And get the answer for yourself. You don't have to necessarily just get that for yourself to get a bit more of a representation going. Look at the box. How big is the box?
And you can add, do you still have that poison in your personal box? Or you were able already take it away? And you already understanding and consciously contemplating, I have a box around me. Just expand that.
And then maybe just look outside the box for a moment whilst you're still in the box and have a look and see who is watching you, who is observing you, who is waiting for you to be dead or who's waiting for you to be alive. And then the next question would be, are you comfortable in your box? How long have you been in this box?
Are you capable to change your box, or it is kind like existing on its own around you and you're not thinking into direction of what box can I work with that box?
See if you can find a door or window. Does it have a door or window?
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, I would suggest talking about curiosity, right? Killing the cat. That was a phrase that was from a Ben Jonson play in 1598 that Shakespeare later used in Much Ado About Nothing, right? So the writer, right, observing is the observer. And I would suggest that there's a third state for the cat, that the cat has escaped the box, right, with its own spiritual magic. So why are we limited to alive or dead, right? When the curiosity of the nature of the cat moves in and out of the quantum reality, just like we have the capability to do. Or maybe we haven't activated those capabilities yet, but when can we? Can we move in and out of the box?
This is that new possibility that added now with that not physical element to be conscious. That element was present all the time, but now it's a possibility to be conscious about that not physical element in our lives. So yes, maybe cat was even chosen because cat is not predictable. It's not a dog. You see, cat doing what it's doing. Dog would sit and wait for us to kill that dog or not to kill that dog. Cat, yes, Tanya, it can escape because it's cat. It's doing what it's doing.
So take a look at you as the cat in your own box that you have, little or small, and just actually really, really look at it. Is that really you in the box? How much of you is in the box? Or is it just one of those paper mache yous that you put in the box to keep others happy, being curious, looking for your death or your aliveness?
Or is it only thought concept, not even reality?
All great questions. Lots of questions.
Then find that door, find that window. And
Or
just,
maybe it's just opening and can become those walls like a constructor, like a Lego thing, and can become whatever you can think about those walls, like your skateboard or your flying carpet or whatever.
so whatever that is for you, see, because it's, you know, some people get very used to that box. They don't want to get out because they've been living there for a long time.
When you said that, I had a vision of a labyrinth, you know, with walls, but it didn't have any top to it. So it was like mine was always, you know, moving, always moving. And it could just expand, and I was able to expand the labyrinth in the box. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
So take your unentangled observer version of you and just observe the entangled observer observing the observed you in the box. And then maybe the observer, the entangled observer, might have a message for the observed.
Well, what I'm getting when you're saying that is that the unentangled observer observing the cat in the box, which is you, and sort of, is that we somehow got ourselves in this box in the reality, and the things we do in the reality in the box is just to please everything around us, right? So we're pleasing, say, for example, the government, their rules, their laws, their restrictions. So that's restricting the cat in the box. And the unentangled observer of you is looking at this, and you're saying, you know, I've had enough of this. I don't want to be in this box anymore. But getting out of this box in the reality is quite a difficult task in itself, because it's so vast, all the restrictions that's put around this box. So that's something for us to think about. How can we technically get out of the box as the cat, you know, and freeing ourselves from this box while still in the box there. It's really something we got caught in.
Well, did we get caught into it, or were we born into it? Born into the
Well,
box?
Well, that's being caught
Born into the
caught in
energetic
box.
structure that tells us what it means to be human.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well, was that the original reality of being a human, or we just got caught in the box there through all the restrictions that's forced upon the cat in the box?
What if we
It's like
look at
cornering the cat. It's like cornering the cat and penning it up, right? And you caging the cat in. And as the cat is growing, the box is getting smaller and smaller.
what if we look at our box like letter to us, like a message to us about everything, like Lana said, that was holding us, and Tanya said, in our physical experience, as we know about physical experience from our past life's past experiences. If we look at that box like a message to us, now it's a new possibility, and you can work with your box. And for everyone, in my understanding, it would be personal. What you will recognize in your message, in your letters that on your box. And if we look at those messages on that box as a reminder to us what we went through and what is still holding us in that curiosity, in that addiction to repeat again and again, but it's not fun anymore, like Lana said. Yeah. What if we look at those messages, science, that is our box composed of, yeah, and start to work with those messages, freeing ourselves, looking and recognizing, oh, this is my experience, story about my experience I had in my 1400 years, whatever, in that life. And then we look at that and do something with that message, not to be active anymore. You see, be just a story of your life experiences, just a story. And will open that window or door for us to see more sun, to see more possibilities, to see more universe. What if we look at that box like composed from those messages to us we created for ourselves at some point when we're capable to recognize those messages and start to disassemble those messages into something else, what we desire now.
Jennifer, you wanted to, thanks, Irina. Yes, that is, taking that particle, that collapsed particle, bringing it back into the wave, and then collapse it in a way that you actually want to have it collapsed, with or without the box, whatever you're needing the box for. Jennifer, you wanted to say something? Welcome back back in the hood.
Thank you. I don't know, I could have stayed away forever. Just picking up on what everybody is saying, like the entangled observer would look into the box they would perceive it through their own trauma. Wherever they are now, they would see that mirror of where they are now. It really wouldn't have to do it with the unentangled observer, other than the projection. And like Lana was saying, that like you're growing bigger, but the box isn't changing, and so that's becoming more confining. That's choice. If you're choosing to expand and overcome your confinements, to me, like, it's a series of boxes that are nested, right? And every time I get out of one of my programs, that smaller box goes away, and my perimeter has gotten bigger. Kind of like what Amy was saying with like her labyrinth expanding. Every time she wants to grow, she just pushes it out. Like, to me, all of my boxes are nested, and every time I reach a milestone and I overcome one of my programs, like, I just get rid of one of those boxes. And I don't even perceive the next one until I'm ready for that level of perception. That I've reached that limit and I no longer want that limit, and so I just make it disappear.
I like
I
that,
like
Jen.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Something-
the fact that I think, I don't know, for me, it is still being here and being that human cat, whatever we want to be. I think we still have to be here physically, and we can go out also, but we do have things we need to do here. We came here for a purpose, for whatever that purpose
Exactly.
is. Yeah, and
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. And like you said, if before our physical existence was more primal, and was only our choice to have physical existence, now we are adding that not physical element, and now we have all 360 possibilities what we can do with our physical life. Yes, it's not escaping. No. It's
Yeah.
continuing our physical experience, but now with choice of directing that physical experience how we will choose.
right. I feel like, well, because this, this physical suit will die. It will be dead and yet alive at the same time. I kind of felt that too, where, we have, to me, it's like, while you're here and alive, some people feel dead. Some people are dead in the eyes, and that's their journey here.
Bugs suffocated them.
Yeah, whatever. The traumas, could do that. Yeah.
So I'm thinking of the box now, that the different layers, like Jen was explaining, that the box has many layers, and as of course the cat is growing in the box and the box is getting smaller and smaller, you're going through the different layers of the box, but eventually you'll get to the layer of the final layer of this box. Now, what is this box made of? Can this box be cracked? Can this box rot away? Can this box explode as the cat grows bigger in this box and just like pushes the box out? What's this box made of, that we can actually break out of this box as the cat, and the box is no more? Go ahead, Irina.
What if bugs and cats the same?
What if the body of the cat just absorb the last layer of the box, and therefore the box is no more?
What if cat and bugs are the same?
Yeah, that's one way to look at it.
Wait, I can't. What does that mean? What do you mean visually? If the cat's the box and the box is the cat?
This is the thing, Amy. It can't be done in physical reality. That's why they have problem with connecting quantum physics and understanding with classic mechanic mind. They have problem with that. It's not possible. Other way, I believe it's possible to understand physical reality with quantum mind. But this way, no. In my understanding, this is all their problems. That's why magic still used to move physical reality, and not opposite way. It's not working opposite way.
So before we're going to get rid of that box, everything, no matter how distorted and weird and wacko the creation is, we create because it has a value to us at a certain moment in time, depending on the level of awareness that we're at. So look again at your boxes. And if you want to take it to the next level, like Irina said, you can, consider yourself the box, the cat, but stay with the metaphor of the box separate. from you. For what purpose did you create the box?
Safety.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. A lot of us create boxes, walls, barriers for protection because we needed that with all the harmfulness, the abuse that we've been going through over lifetimes. So sometimes the box cannot easily be demolished until we can acknowledge the value that it had when we needed it, and also acknowledge, are we ready to consider ourselves of no need of protection anymore? Have we grown to a certain level of awareness, including our unseen capacities, that we can let go of that physical box?
Understanding how we turn our possibility box, it's a possibility. It's our experience. We create particular box, we have particular experience, and how we turn that box of possibilities into box of protection, and we are hiding there. And how it's and where it's connected to our physical reality. What kind of construct holding that box as protection, not as possibility. And in my understanding, look into direction of our habit and our beliefs.
It's a bit
So
like
my
a set of clothes, right? We wear certain sets of clothes for doing certain things, but we don't wear the same clothes all the time. Lana, go for it.
So what I was thinking as Irina was talking there, I was thinking that what if this box was not actually created by the cat, but the reality created the box, and the cat got caught in the reality of this box, but now the cat took the box and used it to its benefit by keeping the box around it for its protection. It's using the box now as a protection because the cat has learned so much from the reality over many lifetimes, eons of time, that if you don't use what's in your reality surrounding you for your protection, then you can really be harmed by the external of your reality.
If you look that way, are you victim or you are explorer? If someone created for you box, so who you are, explorer or you are victim?
Well, I said the cat got caught up in
if it's caught up
in the reality of, and the box like forced, the box never had a really joined sides before, but the sides eventually, as the sides closed in on the cat, the sides joined and became the box.
But look at this point. If cat got caught into that box, and cat has 100% free will as we know it, yeah? So what was cat amusement with that box? And maybe it's just overplayed with that box, and now at the point forgetting that that box, it's cat's box, not someone's box. And someone was just proposing, okay, what about if I put into your box this? What about if this? What about if this? And cat was just playing with all. I don't like to play with that stuff anymore, but it is in my box. It is my box today. And now cat is playing victim, saying, someone created box for me and da-da-da-da-da, instead of saying, oh, interesting. How can I get into my box all these things? Are they mine or not? Can I do something with those things? Do I need those things? or I can now choose to change those old things into something else. And remember that box is my 360 possibility, not limitations, not safety barrier to my life experience.
I was kind of
Not
flirting with
anymore. Yeah, not anymore. The cat is getting to the realization now of everything that you're saying is that, okay, these walls are no longer my limitation. I'm going to just take my paw and I'm just going to push each side and throw the walls down.
And I think he turned it into a litter box.
That's
Box,
litter.
yes, full of shit, right?
That ain't what we want to play with now. I was thinking too that like I was looking at the box as being like an inanimate object or like domination and control or something, but like in some ways the box is another living being in itself, and it pulls the cat in to like not be by itself and to like live in these constraints with me, you know, like it happens a lot in relationships. You get the box pulls you in, and then you realize at some point that like, how'd I get in this box? And then you do have to look at like, what do I need to take away from it and get out of the box?
So if you destroy your box, you are killing something alive. Feel it, just feel it. So your box is the same essence of everything around. Yeah. So if we try to destroy box, we are killing something that is alive. And if we see that box as made of our choices, it's our energy, our intention, attention, we don't need to destroy that box. We need to disassemble that box into something that is choice today, not yesterday. In this case, you're never victim. You are explorer. You are co-creator.
So
transmuting the box into the next set of choices.
It is all energy that given to us. It's our energy. You don't have any other source besides that box around you. You turned your possibility into that box. Now, that worked for you yesterday. Will it work for you today? Will it work for you tomorrow? This is the question you ask yourself. And if it's not working, find the way to disassemble that box into something else. It's your energy only.
Cool. Marissa wants to say something. Unmute. You must unmute, darling.
Go to microphone in your left corner and just press on that microphone. It's red now. It's crossed out.
Left where it says mute. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's
I
frozen.
think she's frozen. Yeah.
She's frozen. Okay, well, let's wait for.
Okay.
Oh,
there.
Hi. Sorry, I got an update on my Zoom and haven't worked with it yet. Sorry. Thank you. I was just really appreciating just playing with reality and just being able to see the box and see through the box, and just a really playfulness of our reality and how we have these options, and it's like all metaphorical, but yeah, it's all an option like now. So yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, great.
Nice to see your face today, Marissa.
Yeah. So nice. So nice. So nice. It's everyone's face. Everyone's back. Tom is back as well. Fantastic. Fantastic. So let's not get hung up on the box, right? Box or no box, cat or no cat, you're everything. You're the box, you're the cat, you're everything. Now, well, we have to think of the box again. Let's get back to the experiment, right? Because there is that poison, right? That poison that gets inserted into the box. Now, how can we find, or what, like when we use that context now, where are we living now? what kind of monitoring, what kind of signs, what kind of synchronicities can we look out for to see, to observe, to perceive, to receive those poisons that could be inserted in our box before they are being inserted?
Something that Irina, stop right there, Martina, before you ask more questions and I forget my thought.
Okay.
Something Irina said was before about, and in my perception was that suggestion is what created the poison in the box.
Agreement to have that seduction, I would even say.
The seductive concept of the suggestion. It's a snake in the Garden of Eden that suggested to Adam and Eve, eat this apple or eat this fruit or whatever, right? Eve didn't have to do that, but it was the suggestion, the seductive suggestion.
But it became beautiful experience of our human life. You see, as we know it. But now, if we look deeper, maybe it's just forgetting about that we can change our choice at any time. We don't have to follow that seduction. It was beautiful and working for yesterday. Today, we have choice, and this is that poison that we think we don't have choice. And we exist in that reality, no choice, just continue having your box that someone actually made in our mind. It's someone made for us. That's why it's poison. Right. Yes, thank you, Martina, for bringing that poison.
Sorry to cut you off there. Now you can go on with your questions.
Yeah. What was it? But I just want to, the level of awareness we're at is we can't do victimhood, guys. Okay, so wherever the box came from, we agreed to it. We built it brick by brick, wood piece by wood, whatever you call it, thing. We built it ourselves for whatever reason. It served its purpose, right? Now is the time where we can acknowledge that there is no judgment, there is no discrimination. It's just like, okay, I built that box, now let's get rid of that box. And I'm a big fan of not necessarily dismantling it piece by piece, the way we put it together. I say, fuck it, get rid of the box. Because that's what we've been doing. All this karmic resolution business we've done in the beginning of our, like, depending on where we're at, from a soul perspective, we've been doing all of that. Now, the level we're at now, supposedly, we're getting onto this dharmic journey where, we can use the box because it serves a new purpose, and there's nothing wrong with the box. If it still keeps us limited and less, then it's time to just get rid of the box. So it all takes us back to the belief system that creates our reality. Some people like the box, every cat loves jumping in a box. They're not staying in there. They just love to cuddle in and then they just jump out again. There's nothing wrong or right about this whatsoever, It's really the question now is, how can we, let's say we are in the box and we're feeling comfortable and we're resting and we are feeling safe. How can we, and that was my question early on, because that poison is still there, it's still available. So how can we, what can we do to monitor through our observer, entangled or unentangled observer, seen or unseen, because the poison can come from the unseen side just as much from the physical side. What are the signs, the synchronicities that we can monitor ourselves for any of those poisonous disasters to avoid them or get out the box before the radioactive poison gets inserted? And
what if the poison is our learning?
Yes, that
could
used to be that way. That was the hard way, learning through contrast and polarity, and that
but
is
like a different kind of learning. It's not, it's like something, that's there that we have like a blind spot to, that we haven't seen. Like, oh, okay, thank you. I didn't see that.
Like, what if
Yeah.
it's the radioactive bite that turns us into Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is an interesting possibility, yes.
Yeah.
We're beginning to get our superpowers.
Alchemize the poison.
But then isn't there now in this new reality that we are building, that we are tapping into through our belief system, through our healed belief system, isn't there a possibility where we can go beyond the contrast, beyond the poison, beyond the hardship, and actually just choose to jump in and out without having to wait for the poison to be injected? Or use our awareness, our psychic capacities to get the hell out as soon as we start smelling something?
I believe you're
and that's
beginning to do that.
That's the wave, right? The like the back and forth, the unentangled observer observing the entangled observer, but then the entangled observer choosing to become again the unentangled observer, right? Moving in and out of those two wave states of consciousness, right? For the experiment, it's the cat dead or alive, right? And on one side of the wave, the cat is dead, the other side of the wave, the cat's alive. But where is that like in between, right? That we can connect to all the time from one perspective, while still jumping in and out of the duality, right, from another perspective.
Because that's what we do. Let's say the box is the physical, and everything, once we jump out, we're in the etheric realms, right? We're in the unseen. So jumping in and out, and that's what we literally do. We jump in and out. And there's not just the poison, not just in the physical reality, it can also be in the etheric, in the unseen realms when we're sleeping. Think of it from that perspective. And we're being observed in this reality. Sorry,
no, go ahead.
In this reality, and we are also observed on all the other timelines, parallel universes, different locations. Sorry, Emmy.
No, I was just going to say to that, like, who's to say that one reality is better than the other? Like, what if we're to say, like, what if this reality is our dream reality, and our dream reality is our reality? It could be. Who's to say that? Who's to say it isn't?
It's all the above, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we could even take it to that stage and say the box is equals death in the long run.
We're put in a box.
Yeah, we're put in a bucket.
Yes.
Because this is almost like when we jump out of the box, even though they do put
Yeah.
Right? You're absolutely right.
And another thing, I wanted to bring this up because I found it kind of funny, was do you remember those wanted posters, Dead or Alive, in the cowboy movies?
Yeah.
So it's or the wanted, at the post office they have them, but it's almost like Dead or Alive. I mean, okay, so you're in the Western and the cowboys are trying to, how do you know if he's dead or alive? Because the bounty hunter would go looking for these guys. So I don't know, it kind of like catapulted me into like, dead or alive, how do we even know?
It doesn't matter, right? That's the main thing.
It doesn't matter, but the wanted posters, I don't know.
I think the wanted poster, what it was saying is that the bounty hunter, when he or she goes out, is that you can bring the prisoner back. You could kill him and bring him back, or you could bring him back alive.
Both.
I think that's what the concept was on that. We don't care how you bring him, just bring him back.
That's right. That's right. I don't know. That's funny.
But what Tanya was, the question that Tanya was asking is, when you were doing the flow, the up and down motion, one part is alive, one part is dead. And what we're trying to get to was that they call it in aerospace the Lagrange point, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, where each side cancels out one another and where it comes back to like 0 point. So we want to get to that that Lagrange point there where it's a balance of both. Nothing can overwhelm from each side, but you are staying in that point where everything is harmonious and the flow is just you know, in that space where everything is just being you again, I feel.
If we look at characteristics of this experience in this universe, so one of qualities, I would say, of this universe, it's change. Change is only constant. We are on the move all the time. So to find that point of equilibrium, it will still pull you somewhere, and you will use your energy, your life energy, your possibilities of 360 to stay in that point of equilibrium. What if when we find that point of equilibrium, when it's comfortable for us and we are alive, we are in the joy and everything is working for us, we start to connect to natural flow of universe and Mother Earth and move with that flow, just co-creating with that flow, with those possibilities of today, bigger you as universe, directing your experience as human experience. And maybe when we think about up and down, it's not the same right, left. When it's right, left, we kind like going from dead, alive, dead, alive, dead, alive, and we are missing that equilibrium, that fulcrum point, when we can start going up and down, when those possibilities of parallel worlds existing, not so much only physical, but already different qualities of our existence, different states of our existence, physical, non-physical, physical, sub-physical, da. So think about difference between going right, left, and up and down. Is it different for you or it's the same? And giving you the same experience and the same connection to bugs.
Yeah, and if you look at that cross that Irina just drawn for us, you know, put yourself right in the middle, in the 0 point, in the shunya point, right? Because this is where we're at, being in that moment, and we are dead and alive in that moment because we're living all our deaths, all our lives in that moment. So the question is no longer relevant for the paradigm that we find ourselves in and the level of awareness we're actually in, because we're starting to appreciate that we have a physical representation, a physical body, and at the same time, we have a soul. And even if the physical body this decays, we still have a form. We still continue our consciousness in a different form. So, you know, and at the same time, we are existing in so many different places. So not just in two places, by location or by, you know, what's it called, by, well, we occupy so many places at once, at the same time. But having said that, that actually opens up a can of worm, not a box. Because we are now, as the avatar that is existing here right now, speaking to each other, we have that responsibility to make sure that all the shards that are connected to our soul are not in boxes. How many of our shards are still hiding in boxes that need our unentangled observation and support, surgery, psychic surgery, that's what that is, to bring them back into one box, into our box, so that we can then let go of all the boxes.
Into our awareness. Into our awareness.
Our awareness,
it was our box yesterday.
Exactly.
Today, I want to do something different with that energy I put in constructing that box.
Yeah. Because this is, yeah, look, not everyone is a world bridger here, but we all have an understanding of the seen and the unseen. And because we're working the seen and the unseen simultaneously, we are bridgers, all of us. We are bridging those worlds in whatever way, form, or shape. And this comes with the responsibility to monitor those poisons that are being injected, not just in the physical, but also in the etheric realms, in the astral realms. So this is not about building another box of protection, but using our awareness, expanding our awareness beyond the limitations of this physical reality so that we can choose if and when required, like this. Collapse the particle back into the wave, new wave. And that's something we need to practice. And my question again, how many of those signs and synchronicities are you actually experiencing now? Because I don't know, but since the last couple of days, something has completely changed. For some reason, the energy is just like, whoa, opening up big time. Even more so than before. This is the time where we have to get out of those boxes. No longer afraid of any of the poison, no longer, wasting our time about being curious, dead or alive, and get on with our mission, with our purpose.
With our interest, with our joy in this life, with our choice in this life. Yes, I, Martina, completely agree with you that something happened like a couple days, like 1-2 days ago, huge thing. And I looked into that thing and I was seeing attempt of societal structure, those observers who are watching our boxes, yeah, to keep us in that box with fear and greed and all those things. And it was just naturally dissolved a couple days ago. That attempt just didn't work. This is it. Their magic just didn't work.
I've been perceiving boxes to crumble, and I just looked at my own boxes, and they're just like all the molecules just started floating. And it's also has an impact on who I am and what I'm going to be. It's like the teacher is crumbling, everything is crumbling, the healer is crumbling, everything, because I am the box of the healer, the box of the teacher, the box of the whatever, the mother. It's all dissipating. It's almost like the particles are dissipating, and I just feel back in that wave, that space of that wave. And I haven't collapsed anything yet, because it's just so nice to be in that wave, waiting for synchronicities, waiting for signs, because my personal journey is to the heart, is to the love, to the higher love, to the loyalty, to all of that. And it's going to look very, very different. It's going to be like being more of a butterfly than being a like, whoa, like warrior. I'm done with my warrior days. And it's a very feminine energy that's coming up for me. Intuition, I just booked something out of the blue. Or I wasn't completely out of the blue, but I just booked it, and it was like, oh my God, this is what it can feel like when you do something and you have no idea why you're doing it, but you just know you have to do it. I was like, yes, that's exciting. That kind of passion, that kind of excitement that is coming back. And what did I do? I have looked at the breadcrumbs of synchronistic events that led to that.
I would say I see it as that glue that was put to keep together our boxes, that is intention of observers who were observing our boxes. That glue is disappeared. just disappeared, and we have all our boxes in our hands now and possibility to do whatever we want to do with our boxes. This is how I see it and feel it. That glue just disappeared. It's not holding anymore our boxes in a way it was observed before.
And you know what? I'm very aware of being observed, very critically, confrontationally. And being a rebel anyway, I can totally live with that. You know, there was a time where I would have closed up and limited myself for it. And now I can just, now, Amy, you were saying like the poison, it's almost like that confrontation, that projection, that expectation, I don't know expectation, but definitely projection, it can't touch me anymore. It just dissipates. It's almost like, you know, the idea of delightful, be full of light. This is a delightful confrontation now, because I'm like, I see it as a thank you very much. Thank you very much. By doing that, you're honoring who I have become, because that light that we become can be super, 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 super confrontational for other people. So from that perspective, I agree. The more we shine, the more we will bring up other people's crap, because we are shining a light into the darkness by just being, right? By just moving by them. So be prepared for that. But that doesn't mean that you have to still do something necessarily. It's no longer the trigger, oh, I've got to work on myself. No, it's just acknowledge that. That is a thank you very much for acknowledging my light in your weird little fucking way, you know? But I know that that's what it is. And that's really, really important now. Awareness is not for pussies. We talked about this. The more aware you become, the more you have a pattern recognition, the less the old mirror exercise will work.
And now we
one more thing. That's when you have to bring the universal mirrors in. This is it. Mirror is still a mirror, but now you got to bring in the universal, the cosmic, the galactic, the spectral mirrors in, right? Now look in those mirrors and do no longer waste your time, your money, your effort, your life force on the old mirrors. Fucking hot.
The mirrors have become the box. I like that.
The old mirrors have become the box, yes.
Or the galactic mirrors, or they have replaced with the box. I kind of like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I kind of like that universal
What
mirror.
I'm thinking about the mirror is it's just quantum mirrors creating a disco ball. So the disco ball becomes, you know, the party center, you know.
The
party now.
Spark, yeah, the spark of inspiration. You become that party ball now. You become the disco ball. You are that spark of inspiration. And you know how many people do not like to have fun?
Yeah,
I do. I do.
Exactly. And this is time for our choice. And like you said, Martina, awareness not for everyone. So if you decide to be aware, you have to use your choice, choosing from that galactic mirror, those 360 degrees of possibility, or understanding that we are that mirror, we are that disco ball, and it's the same that is galactic proposing to us today, and we are here being that disco ball, being that mirrored 360 degrees of possibility, for choice. So if we now stop following what is proposed to us and look at everything that is like a proposition around us and choose, do we like that? Do we don't like that? And we go with, maybe we don't even like anything that is as a proposition around us, and we will remember what we want to experience. This is how we can bring in our physical experience that we had yesterday something completely different that we can have today. That it will be and physical and not physical, but it would be our experience today as human beings on Earth.
So now
And
the cat turned into a disco ball.
exactly. And those mirrors completely different. When we see mirror that is reflecting our limitation, and we see that universal mirror that Martina and you guys talking about, they are very different. And you know, if it is still mirror, and it is still mirror of our limitations from our past, those experiences we had in our past, if you go by that mirror, closing your eyes, pretending you don't see it, that mirror will do something for you, but because it would be your poison. That mirror of your past that you don't want to recognize, or you don't want to acknowledge, or you want to push out. You have to do something with that mirror, but not actively like we did before, not going in our old habits. Maybe we can just say, I do not agree with that mirror anymore in my reality. Maybe we can just say that, because knowing, you don't say it from your ego position, you don't say it from your limitations, you say it because you are universal mirror already. And you are saying universe is not choosing that experience anymore. But in my understanding and practice, if you just go by that mirror and it's still existing, it's kind of like cluttering your environment around. It's just like hanging, like taking space of your free movement through your choices, in my understanding.
Yeah.
And this is how I see it. Just by through or by go by that thing, it's kind of like you allow that clutter to accumulate in your space around you.
It can serve as a reminder, and as you say, Irina, nowadays it's no longer like I need 5 weeks to work through something. It's acknowledge something and off you go. And lots of us are obviously, healers. Even if you don't want to heal, you are a healer. And that kind of pattern recognition, will keep coming, because, we will use it for our clients or friends or family or something like that. So, but this is part of that huge level of awareness. It's not because just we've dealt with the old mirrors, it's still available to us. We can still look, and that's again, but we look as an unentangled observer. Because everything is in the quantum field. Everything is in the field available to us. All the shit that we walked through and worked through is still available. This is where the choice comes in. So it's pure choice. Acknowledge, thank you very much, gratitude, forgiveness, if that's still required. And then you look at, and then you say, okay, well, let me work with the universal mirrors. And I'm just saying now, there's, as a matter of practice here, idea, it's what are the possibilities. Those mirrors show you the greatness, the capacities, and the possibilities that are out there.
I start to call those mirrors from limitations. Yeah, I start to call them mirrors, but when I worked my way and it's not triggering anymore me, but it's still present in the world and I can see it, like you said, Martina, I call that stuff not mirror, but movie of my life. I had that experience before. Now it's not my presence, but in my past I had, and I can watch that movie at any time and bring into my box of tools, some to work with whatever I need to work with, but it's not triggering me anymore. But I can address, like you said, Martina, when I work with someone, or when I see even in this reality that people so much forgot about who they are, and that their experience, sometimes it's not even human experience. And when I see it, I do say, I do not agree for that experience to be a part of humanity anymore. Done. Yeah. And it works. It works when you remember that you're saying it from position of being universal mirror, and all ancestors, all those presences who are moving in that direction with you at that time, it works perfectly. And another thing, what I understood in my work and in my observation, that actually without human being, any human being, saying that consciously, our continuation in all other dimensions in universe, that universal mirror, can't take it into work if we are not saying on this bottom level, I'm not choosing that anymore, I'm done with that. It can't be taken into transformation by universal mirror. Yeah. Because we are not showing that we're done with something. And if we are quiet and go by, we are agreed to have that in our reality. So energy will form into that experience. For energy, for universe, doesn't matter. Whatever you choose, whatever human being is choosing, what we are having here. So just to close your eyes and pretend you don't see it, it's not exactly how we can use that opportunity to be aware and conscious. Yeah.
No, we need to open more sets of eyes, in fact, isn't it? Our sensory perception. We were talking about it earlier, how is our human experience changing? Well, it is changing. We can already feel it. We eat differently. We sleep differently. We enjoy different things. We meet different people. The body is changing, you know. So the density of the body, depending on how you look at it, either gets lighter or more dense, more, you know, that kind of thing. So all of this is part of that new choosing for us and as us, and getting out of this victimhood. So this is one of the things, you know, bringing this whole thing back in a circle to our Schrodinger's cat. You know, it's like it's no longer just sitting there waiting for the box to open. It's literally you choosing, do you want this cat to be alive or dead? And even beyond that, the belief system beyond existence and non-existence. Who wants to, Tom, or anyone who hasn't had a chance, because we are blubbering away here, anyone who wants to say something about the cat in the box, Schrodinger's cat?
For me, the box and the cat, they're about experience. So lots of things can be experienced.
So
They might not be comfortable experiences.
Oh, sorry, Tom.
They might not be comfortable, all a comfortable experience.
Sometimes the discomfort has to come before the shift in experience, right? Kind of playing on what Martina was saying about something changing in the last few days, I would say in the last couple of weeks, like where I went on that trip and I just decided to clock out a time and do the no plan. I went wherever I was led. I would ask one night where to go the next day, and I would be led, and I would have like the most amazing experience. And I found all these other versions of myself where I had been before, and I integrated those, and I really came back different. Like I got back late Monday, but yesterday I got out, and as I was driving, like I could perceive how I was so many more versions of myself at once. And in that, I became even less of an entangled observer for everything. Like I could feel the expansiveness of being able to perceive my reality here from 10 different perspectives instead of just the one, and where I want to put my energy and where I don't, and how empowered I was in being able to do that, because no matter what direction I choose, everything is going to be fine. And I could feel too where I had timelines playing out in more than one scenario. Like I could feel my energy in multiple places, and if I wanted to at the moment, I could switch my consciousness into where that was. So
you just escaped from your traditional box. You just escaped 2 weeks ago from your traditional box that were keeping you in some order of events, and you already experienced what we were experiencing a couple days ago, being in our traditional box.
Yes, I moved into the Barbie mansion.
Yes, earlier.
I think this is why, you know, there is this movement. I think somebody mentioned movement, and I mean, this is our organism. We are moving, we are continuously moving, everything is changing continuously. But I think, you know, I don't know, speak for myself, I've been traveling much more this year than I have for a long time now, because there's this need. It's almost like, if I'd be talking like that, I'd say the places are calling me in. I don't say that, but I just, because it comes from this place of knowingness. When I book it, it's like, oh, it comes out of the blue somewhere on the feed, and like, okay, book it. Oh, why did I just book this? Right? I just have to, I have to almost go there first and then work backwards again. Oh, this is why I went there, and that kind of thing. And that's also, I think, in that kind of place where we find ourselves now, between the dead and the alive cat, or the third cat that Tanya was actually mentioning, wisely, is like, we have to trust. We just have to trust our own knowingness. Get back to that instinctualness, to that intuition, and just work with that.
Exactly. Trust energy instead of curiosity, dead or alive. We have to step into the trust energy that belong to universal mirror. It doesn't belong to our human experience. In human experience, trust, it's kind of like shaky. It's very shaky trust. But that thing, that trust vibration, it's not exactly of human experience. And we have that trust flowing through our experience when we are that universal mirror that is reflecting in our science of heart vibration. You can't enter that unconditional state of love, unconditional connection of that vibration without trust. You have to be in that trust vibration. Only then you can enter and understand, remember what is that unconditional vibration connection to creation. Yeah, trust. Yep.
And that's also a key for the unentangled observation.
Exactly, it's the same. Yeah.
Practicing unentangled observation. It's a practice just like anything else. And basically what that means is just get out of discrimination, get out of right and wrong, get out of judgment, and just observe without a particular point of view. Don't attach, don't align, don't agree, don't react, don't resist. You become a bit boring and confrontational at the time, because people love you to take sides, and once you don't, it's like, what's wrong with her? And that can be fun too.
Also, if it's not my bag of cats, I don't look in it, right? If it's not my box of cats, I don't look in it, because it just creates distortion. So it's really nothing to me whether the cat in the box is alive or dead. It's having its own experience, and it has nothing to do with me.
And you know what, Jen, you're right. It creates distortion, but also it's just plain boring now. That's what I'm finding. I'm just finding it boring now to be with people that don't understand anything that I'm saying, you know, it's just boring. I'm saying, well, why am I wasting my time here? It's a waste of time now. And we could redefine that and say, oh, maybe that's clarity of purpose. Oh, I see. I like that better instead of waste of time, right? It's more for clarity of purpose, right? And that doesn't mean that we only have to be with our tribe and because we feel comfortable. That's just creating another box. No, but we have learned to jump in and out of those boxes, and we will keep doing that. But when it comes to spending your time and your life force, investing your life force, there has to be like a balance. You can spend some time in a box where it's like, okay, observe, and then say, okay, well, enough of that now let's get into the other and entangle with those peeps, because now we can create something together. And everything creates equally. It's that balance, that homeostasis. And it's not like staying like this all the time rigidly. Oh, I can't move, I have to be. No, it's this, but make sure that this eventually is equally that balance.
So one of the things I noticed in my reality that it has shifted of recently, because I was thinking about this a couple of days ago when I was outside, and I'm thinking, I have a neighbor that has 2 dogs that lives about 2 houses away from me. And a couple of summers ago, every time I went outside, I'd see my neighbor outside walking her dog, and she would walk her dog like 3 times a day or something like that. And I realized lately, as I was thinking about this, my reality must have shifted because I don't see her anymore. She still lives there. I see her once in a while. She still walks her dog, at the same time. But somehow our reality must have changed out from each other's, running into each other, synchronizing with each other. I mean, I see her once in a while. I mean, I can entangle with her if I go out and say hi, but I have to make that effort now to do that. In the past, I didn't have to make that effort. So our realities did shift out from one to the other. And I kind of like that because that's showing me that I've done something for myself that has made that change, because I love chatting with her, but the conversation that I was having with her was not in line with my new way of thinking and in my reality and the direction I want to go. So I can't have that conversation like I'm having with you guys with her.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm seeing that shift in my own reality.
That's thanks for sharing this. This is such a beautiful example for separation of density. And there's nothing you need to do necessarily with that particular person. There's like you go in and out, entangled,
yes.
Disentangled. And there was something else that came to mind as you were talking. Yes, back to the cat in the box. She did not have to die. She's still alive. You just she didn't have to die for you not to see her anymore. That's why because she's no longer a match to your signature.
Exactly. Yes, I see what you're getting at. Yeah.
So that's where the choice comes in, and the choice came not specifically that you want to not to see her anymore, but by doing the work for yourself. It has changed your energy signature now, that you're now starting to attract other people to yourself, and you're no longer matching, because we can override that. We can override that signature matching by forcing a match. We no longer need to force a match, or it's not needing to force it. We're no longer doing it because we have simplified our energetics, our energy, and our auric field and everything. So everything just becomes a bit more natural. a bit more with ease. And when I say ease is not easy, okay? This kind of work is just, when I say there's not necessarily a hardship anymore, it's still not easy. You still have to work with it. You still have to, but you have to manifest in a different way. You have to start creating in a different way.
Well, Martina, is you know, maybe I need some clarification on this one, because according to the experiments, it can be the both alive or death, and we don't know until it's observed, right? Then that means nobody observed the situation in the box. Then it doesn't exist. It's not alive, it's not dead. It depending. You need to have somebody to observe it in order to either one to be existing. And that's what you're talking about, 3-dimension experience. Because nobody observed it in the 3-dimension experience, there is nothing.
Absolutely. If we all say we're no longer interested in the mayhem that's going on in this matrix, we're no longer observing it, it will die eventually or not, but we are no longer part of it. So we choose if we want to kill it or if we want to keep it alive. We can kill it by not observing. It's actually the opposite of what we're saying here now, but it's also a good fun to look at it from that perspective, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but okay, well let's rephrase it. Say, okay, so if you keep on looking at it, find things, the more you look at the negativity, the more you keep it alive.
Yeah. It's like if I don't observe it, it doesn't exist. That's what I mean. If I don't observe
it does exist. It does exist, but not in your reality, because remember, we are creating lots and lots of different bubbles of realities. Like Lana's neighbor still exists, but not in her reality, not as much as it used to.
Yes, I can bring her. I can bring her back in my reality anytime I happen to see her. I can go out and chat with her, but I have to make that effort to bring her back into my reality.
That's a choice, exactly.
Yeah, it's a choice.
And maybe if we're not looking into that direction, we actually may be allowing that cat to exist in other realities, not in a box.
Well, you do it right now. Look at that cat, or look at yourself as that cat in the box. As soon as you start looking into other realities, there you are. You know?
Yeah. Well, it's like I said in the beginning, the cat has 9 lives. Only in the 3D reality, the cat is in the box. In the other 8 lives, the cat is not in the box. Right? And the other thing that was coming to me, as you guys were talking before a little while ago, is that what if the cat is like the frog that sits in the milk? And as the frog doesn't know how to get out of the milk, but the frog kept going around and around and churning the milk until the milk turned butter. And when the milk hardened into butter, the frog just jumped right out. So the cat, in a sense, could be like the frog.
Thanks. Yeah. Amy saying goodbye. Thanks, Amy.
Bye. Thank you all. Thank you.
Bye, Amy.
Bye.
The theming. Thank you, huh? Take care.
Take care.
Yeah, the frog and the butter, yeah. Frog
Yeah, so the cat can be some in that, you know, sense of wait it out, just go turning around there, you know, wait it out, grow bigger, and eventually the fur starts to push out of the box, you know.
Yeah.
And the cat just like throw the box wide open and say, hey, I'm here, I'm alive, when you all thought I was dead.
Exactly. It's a choice. Or maybe that cat turns into Cheshire cat and will appear on some branch instead of box.
What if the cat turns into a big roaring lion? It says, oh, I'm king of the jungle now.
So let's do one more thing to because we have talked about victimhood, victor, and everything, and I had one more question there. So just to conclude it nicely, our chat about the Schrodinger's cat today, which opened so many boxes for us. Just to acknowledge for what's yet to come. What does victory mean to you?
To me, victory goes in the concept of defeat, and victory is the duality concept. So victory to me would not even be in our reality as a term, because you're defeated or you're victorious. And that's the duality in the old reality, which we are trying to move out of.
Okay.
And the cat is breaking the box open and saying, hey, I'm no longer going to be a victor or being defeated in this box and dying in this box.
Okay.
I want to come out and be a tomcat or something like that.
Tom.
To me, there's an energy of completion with victory.
Tom, we're all going to say our thing. What is victory? Victory means
Victory, it's lots of things. Feeling a lot more energized and creative and powerful, and feeling in alignment. I don't know, maybe allowing for a lot more unexpected and things to happen, because who knows what could be the potential.
Cool. Thank you. Herminia, what does victory mean for you, to you?
Victory? The victory is like accomplish something that I'm looking forward to do. It can be in any area or any specific. Doesn't have has to be something specific. It can be anything. That's something that can be accomplished. Sometimes I had a challenge because I had expectations. However, if I accomplish something that have to be done, doesn't matter how simple it is, I think it's a victory. This is, for example, I went for a walk yesterday that I was planning for a week to do it, and then that's a victory for me. I managed to do the walk for 45 minutes in the wood. That's a victory. It doesn't have to be a small or big.
Irina, what does victory mean? When do you feel victorious?
I feel victorious when I can connect with universal flow and then adjust my physical experience moving through life and feel support of that universal flow in my physical experience.
Beautiful. Jennifer.
Sort of the same thing that Irina said, when I'm just completely in the flow and I have no attachment to whatever the outcome is going to be, and however it moves forward, I'm just grateful for the experience and I can enjoy it. So having that joy in flow.
Thank you. Marissa, when do you feel victorious? What does victory mean to you?
Well, kind of similar to what was just said, but at first I was contemplating, but thankful to hear other voices echoing back and being in resonance, so I'm already feeling victorious being aligned to this group. And it's just kind of when feel universe, spirit support and hand, and just almost like hugs from the universe, whether it's from a sunshine shining just the right way, or just the synchronicities that just fall in and make you feel supported. But when we ask the question about victory, I think there's a Indian term, I believe it's Jai or Jai Ma, but getting to the spot where no, Agi, going beyond victory. So almost like not to being the attaining of the victory, but already there. So it's like and then the blissfulness of already having been there.
Fantastic. It's a bit what Lana was saying. So thank you for that.
What is it for you?
Yeah, for me, I have to go with you girls. For me, at the moment in particular, it's really trusting my intuition. You know, just the joy that I had yesterday by booking what I booked without having any idea what it's going to bring. That trusting my knowingness, that felt like a super excited, and that's victory for me. So we'll see what comes of that. Right. Thank you for being here. Beautiful topic today. Thanks for playing, girls and boys. And
it was a lively discussion indeed.
Yeah, amazing. And yes, guys, we are now on Spotify as well. So the recording is going onto Spotify, so you can listen to it there too. And yeah, that's all. I have got nothing else to say. Have you anything? Hold your strap yourselves in. I think the energy is getting really interesting. Look out for those synchronicities, for those signs, and then, you know, on a weekly basis we can share them so that we can keep ourselves inspired here and sparking that sort of sparking the looking and the unentangled observing, you know. All right, guys. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Nice to see everyone.
Bye.
Have a great rest of the week.
Bye-bye. Ciao.